is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. Today we're going to talk about PG and the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that I have been watching very closely for the last couple years, ever since KD left. And they gave a huge extension to Russell Westbrook, and he was able to win MVP and some scoring titles. And he was able to get another superstar, which people didn't really believe that he was until now. And Paul George by getting rid of Victor Oladipo. Now, I think this is a very interesting player because he did have a severe injury. He never made it to the NBA Finals. He never really had like this crazy season like he's having this year. To me, he always been one of the more underrated players in the league just because I always felt like he was better than what people thought. People say he's not clutch. People say he's a number two. You can't win a championship with Paul George as your best player. And now he went to the Western Conference where it's supposed to be tougher. He's leading the Oklahoma City Thunder to a number 3 seed in the West, and they got a cushion at that spot. And they could possibly move up if they can continue to win on the pace that they've been. And we're seeing the best Paul George we have ever seen. The highest points he ever averaged was 23 a game. He's damn near at 28. And I think he's going to get there because he's been going for 30 plus for basically the last 2 months. He has really been engaged. He has really been attacking. Most importantly, his jump shot is there. I told you the thing I hated most about Paul George was the fact that if his jump shot ain't falling, he struggles to make an impact on the game offensively. Now, we always knew that Paul George was one of the better perimeter defenders. He kind of lost that after the injury. He wasn't the same defender. He was kind of falling off. And Kawhi Leonard and Draymond Green took that spot as perimeter defenders. Draymond Green more of an interior, but a little earlier he was more of a perimeter. And obviously Kawhi Leonard won back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year. And he became the best perimeter defender in passing up Paul George in San Antonio. And now Paul George and them are about even. People are saying Paul George is a little better right now. But I feel like Paul George is a little more hungrier. I haven't really seen Paul George play like this. He's playing with a extreme level of confidence. He's going into games feeling like he's the best player. He's going into games knowing nobody can stop him or guard him. His swagger is amazing right now. I never seen him like this. It's like I'm watching him play against the Bucks, and he's just saying, no matter what you do, no matter who you put on me, I'm scoring. He shoots a jump shot over Michael Brogdon. He dunks on Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I'm looking like this dude, PG. What happened? Because he wasn't playing like this. He always been a cool dude. He always been a confident dude. But whatever got into him, whether it was just they turned the team over to him, whether it was Russell deferring, or whether it was the coach just saying, PG, we need you to do more. Um, I definitely want to know what happened. And I really love it. PG is playing like he is a superstar and a franchise player right now. And it's hard for you to argue it. You know, Russell Westbrook is giving you a triple-double, a 20-point triple-double, and it is impressive. But right now, he took a step back. Russell has always been the attacker, the aggressor, a guy that wanted to take over and be the guy. And now we're seeing him set his teammates up more. Now we see him putting more effort and energy in the defensive side of the basketball. He's still not a great defender, and he should be with his size, strength, and athleticism. You'll think that he'd be a better defender than what he is in Russell Westbrook, but he's getting there. But PG has been exceptional. He came into the NBA as a player that was a defender. You mostly remember him as a defender in Fresno State. He really wasn't known for his jump shot. He really wasn't known as a three-point shooter. Now he has turned himself into an all-around player, giving you 4 assists, grabbing 8 rebounds at that small forward position, but also shooting 40% from three. He came in the league shooting in his 20s, and now he's above average because you want to shoot 35 plus, and he's at 40%, which means he's a above average three-point shooter, and a lot of them is coming off pin downs or even in isolation. This man is at the top of the key, handling the ball and taking threes. You give him too much space, he just pulls up on you. That just oozing with confidence, and it's sick. It's sick to watch it because PG has the body. He has the length. He has the athletic. He has everything you need. And I said the same thing about Bruno. It's how much effort and how much work is I'm willing to put in. How long is I'm going to stay after games? Is I'm going to play after games? How many times is I'm going to practice? I have seen PG go from being a guy that nobody really knows to being an all-star. Even LeBron patting him on the back. He even forced a game 6 against LeBron hitting big shots against the Miami Heat. He even went game 7 with the Miami Heat with a chance to go to the NBA Finals with the Indiana Pacers, and people still felt like he wasn't good enough and he wasn't a franchise guy, and you can't really win with him as your best player. Now, I still don't feel like the Thunder are going to win the championship. And I feel like that about a lot of teams in the NBA. I feel like a lot of teams like the Sixers and the Celtics and the Raptors, if it wasn't for Golden State having 5 All-Stars, I think the NBA will be a lot harder to win. Now, I think that's the biggest reasons why he won't win a championship this year is because Golden State is just that good. And that's it. But other than that, if they was a little worse, if they didn't have DeMarcus and they didn't have KD, maybe the Thunder could be just as, they number 3 now. They probably would be able to win a championship. But that team is just so loaded and top heavy that at the end of the day, they just the anomaly. They the team that you would never think would be put together, but they put together, and that hurts the rest of the NBA. Which is okay because if you're an owner, you have a chance to keep winning multiple championships. You will be in his shoes. You will do the same. You have a chance to add Kevin Durant, and you had a chance to add DeMarcus Cousins with Steph, Clay, and Draymond already. Who wouldn't do it? So I'm not going to make it seem like I want to complain or be mad about it because if I was in the owner's shoes and I had a chance to get 5 All-Stars, why wouldn't I take that chance? Why wouldn't I do it? Especially if I already won 3 championships, I'm going for 3-peat. The last people 3-peat was the Lakers. That shows you how hard it is to get a team like this. The Warriors was always a laughing stock. They never could really do anything. They haven't came close to winning the championships in decades. And for them to have this opportunity, they took full advantage of it. And that's the only anomaly. If it wasn't for this Golden State team, the Thunder probably would be good enough to win it all, including against Milwaukee, Toronto, Boston, and Philly in the East. They're just as good as any of those teams. But, that's just how the NBA is right now. But if they can keep this team together, they've been trying to shred salary. They got rid of Carmelo. They got rid of Timothy Luwalu. They got rid of some other young pieces to cut as much salary as they can. They gave Russell a little bit too much money. They paid Steven Adams $100 million, but and they obviously paid Andre Robertson too, who's one of the best perimeter defenders, and he had a case for Defensive Player of the Year last year before injury. So this team has a scary upside. Once they get another shooter at that shooting guard position that can be a two-way player, a guy that can hit threes at a consistent rate but also guard his position, and you still see the elevation of Paul George, who have gotten better the last 2 months, and it looks like his confidence is so high through the roof that he might even have a better month in February, but we don't know because it just started. And Russ being able to take over when he can, but also keeping everybody involved, and that's the evolution of his game. This team is special, but I just wanted to let you know that I always been on the Paul George bandwagon. I always been repping for him. I always feel like he can do this, and I always feel like he can be better. And his jump shot is amazing right now. 45 from the field, 40 from 3, sniping free throws, and his defense is back. So the only thing that's really stopping them is the Warriors. Other than that, this team is just as good as anybody else. And with Paul George playing at this level where he can make and take any shot that he wants to, it's hard to stop because of his body, because of his size, because of his shooting ability. And if he can come and do this even more next year, they're going to be up there, depending on what happens in the NBA in the draft and then trade deadline, and also in the free agency. this team is going to be and continue to be scary. Now, I would definitely want to see them with Robertson come back, because then they can be able to guard a lot more teams on the perimeter a lot better, and they have big Steven Adams anchoring that middle. But I'm loving Paul George, and I just wanted to tell you guys that he has been phenomenal. He might not win MVP, but he is in the MVP conversation. He's up there with LeBron. LeBron has had a fantastic year. Kevin Durant has had a fantastic year. Giannis Antetokounmpo has had a fantastic year. Kawhi Leonard, my favorite player right now, is having a fantastic year. But Paul George is showing you guys, I'm on their level. If not there, I'm coming. I'm getting there. And I might be all NBA second team this year, but I'm still going to increase my chances, and I'm still going to play better. So next year, I feel like I can surpass these players, or even be just as good as they are. And he's putting up around the same numbers that all of them is putting, about 27, 8, and 4 to 5 assists. Um, and he's doing it too. So Paul George is a guy that people thought he wasn't on that level. He was a guy that a lot of people gave up on. He was a guy that people thought was a number 2, and he has the Thunder winning the most games, the most games with Russell ever. They never won 50 games, and they damn near on pace to do it this season. And if they do, that's something that Russell Westbrook hasn't done as being the franchise guy since KD left. And he's getting closer to doing it this year with Paul George. And it takes a lot to make Russell defer. And Paul George, he must have seen something special in him to start deferring now. Out of all seasons, after all the accolades that he has got, for Russell to take a step back and let Paul George shine the way he is, you have to have a huge level of respect from Russ. And I'm starting to see that right now. He had KD, and he even stopped deferring to him at some point. And, for him to start deferring to Paul George, that's respect right there. And he has delivered. The moment when Russell wanted to take a back seat, Paul George has stepped up, and he has helped them have their best season since Russ been alone without KD. And it's special to watch, it's special to see, and this team can be scarier in the future. Yes, they're getting older. Yes, their ceiling might close earlier than we think, because they are two guys that have had major injuries. And on top of that, they're getting closer to 30 than they are to 25. But, they got at least another 2 to 3 years to figure it out. And with a GM like Sam Presti that's always moving and always replacing and always trying to keep the team as good as he can get, you never know what might happen with this team in the future. You never know who they might trade for, and you never know who they might get. And he has had, him and the organization have drafted well since KD and since he left. And I can give him credit for that too. So this team, we really don't know where they'll be at 2 years from now, but they have a chance to win the championship, depending on what happened in free agency and trade deadline and in the NBA draft in next season. So they're in the conversation. We just have to see it. And right now we're getting a glimpse of what could be special in OKC. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Is Paul George on that Kawhi, KD, Giannis, LeBron level? Do we have more work to put in? Is you surprised that he's having his best season of his career this late? Do you think that he can win Defensive Player of the Year? Is he the best defender on the perimeter this year, even with Kawhi and Draymond and them in that lane? Or do you think that, hey, they're one player away from being the favorites? Or do you think they further away than what people think? Do you think Paul George can lead them to the Western Conference Finals as they are the 3rd seed? Or do you think they'll lose to a team like Denver, obviously the Rockets, or obviously Golden State before they can even get there, if they can continue to be number 1 in the West? Because Golden State the number 1 team in the West right now, so they wouldn't have to play them into the Western Conference Finals. And that could help the Thunder at the end of the day. And they do match up well with the Golden State Warriors too. I don't think they will beat them, but they'll make it tough. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Thanks for liking on Facebook. And if you didn't like on Facebook, to show support. Also, thanks for liking the video. Check out my older videos. I do trades, buyouts, season previews, breakdowns, tributes to the legends. I even cover the NBA draft. I do it all. I try to go every single day. And if you like this video, check out my playlists in my channel and subscribe if you enjoy them. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching. That's why I continue to go. Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. I'm done.